Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Never presents In the Paint with Red, my man Devonte Rone, a.k.a. Red. For him, I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. Red, what's up, baby boy?
Chilling, man. Just chilling, man. Everything is flowing very good. The preseason's just about to end, and everything is looking pretty good. Obviously, my team not doing too well, but we're going to be all right, though.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about this soon. We got you. You know,
Yeah.
Cavs Talk is always a very popular segment on this show, man. Before we get into that, we got Red's basically top 30 teams. We'll go from the worst to first. You know, the first is the Warriors, like you said. And then number 30 will be the Brooklyn Nets. Talk about 30 through 26 today. But before we get into that, let's talk regular NBA news going on. Big news came out a couple days ago. The committee's talking about changing the playoff format, Red. To now, you know, it might not be anymore East versus West.
Right.
We're talking 2-3 years down the line now that it might happen, that they might convert it to be one NBA instead of conferences now, and you get the top 16 teams in the playoffs instead of 8 in the West and 8 in the East.
Right.
I want to get your thoughts about how you feel about that. Is that a good thing for the NBA or is it a bad thing for the NBA?
I think it's somewhat of a good thing because obviously, you know what I'm saying, you have the worst teams in the league, then you have the top 16 teams in the league. And I mean, it does give a chance of, the higher seed playing a much better team, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the East Conference, West Conference, the teams, when you play the like the best team is like always in the conference finals, and finally you get to see them in the first round or in the second round of the playoffs, and it makes it much more exciting because it's much more excitement because it be so much competitive as for the NBA, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I like the idea. It's a great thing. I mean, it kind of changed for me because I'm used to the whole East and West thing. But I mean, I would like to see how would it pan out. You know what I'm saying? What team would win and what team would be the best defensively and offensively?
Yeah, people are always people are always saying, well, we don't want to see it happen because eventually the East is going to be back on top against the West. It always happens. Well, look, the West has been dominating the NBA since 1999. That's the year Jordan left. To let the Bulls, let me be honest. Since 1999, the West has pretty much dominated the East. So you're talking almost 20 years of dominance by one conference. Now, I'm sorry. I don't want to see one conference dominate.
Right.
And of course, you see all these trades going on. It's still going to the West. So the West is going to be more dominant. You got two teams, Celtics, the Cavaliers, and in the West, you got 7-8 teams.
Right,
Deep.
Yeah.
And it's tough to see the 8th or the 9th seed from the West get about 43, 44 wins. That same record will put them probably 4th seed in the East, you know. But so I'm tired of seeing that. And the main thing about that, people are saying, well, what if the Lakers and the Knicks play in the first round? Red. Last thing I knew, these millionaires playing basketball.
Right.
Millionaires playing basketball.
Right.
They're flying on what? First class, right?
First class.
First class. What's the problem? You got millionaires flying on first class. I don't see a problem with it going on. Do you think it will happen pretty soon?
I would, to be honest, I would like them to give it like at least a trial run, see how it pans out. I mean, the way the playoffs are set up is like East versus West. I like that because, you know what I'm saying, the best team in the East comes out to play the best team in the West. But I mean, you can have a Eastern Conference team and the Western Conference team in the first round of the playoffs, and I would like to see how that would pan out. Like, say, for instance, we have like a Boston Celtics playing like a Houston Rockets or something.
That'd be great.
You know what I'm saying? That'd be a good, matchup, you know what I'm saying, the first round of playoffs. I mean, I would love to see that, Kyrie Irving, them boys down there. But I mean, I want them just to give it like a test run to see how it pans out. And if it doesn't work, then go back to what we all been, accustomed to.
Right. All right. That was our first second in the lane. 2 seconds in the lane now. We got our boy Andrew Wiggins. He just got paid some money. His max deal, which is 5 years, close to $146 million, Red. How do you feel about Andrew Wiggins and getting his money? Is it well-deserved?
Yes, obviously it's well-deserved. Since they haven't been to the playoffs since he's been there. But, I mean, he's a very good scorer, rebounder, and actually a decent two-way player. And like I said, he can do it all. But I mean, he really deserves the money. He's been there since he got drafted. Originally drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, but traded for Kevin Love. So I mean, he's been a great addition to that team. He's trying to take them places they've never been, and that's obviously the playoffs. Them also adding Jimmy Butler, and they drafted Karl Anthony Towns. So I think their big three and their team has enough to at least get a 7 or 8 spot. I mean, it's kind of hard sitting in the West, but I mean, I think they can make it happen with their 3 big players that they have down there.
I like the deal. Just because it's putting a stamp on where you want to go. Tom Thibodeau, we know this is his first time last year not making the playoffs at all.
Right.
So he went headhunting crazy.
Right.
Got Jimmy Butler. Got Taj Gibson.
Yeah.
You know, he got
but basically he brought the Bulls
to
Minnesota.
What's the kid name from Indiana? The point guard now.
Jeff Teague.
Jeff Teague. Got Jeff Teague on the team now. So they're looking to do something big. You added that squad, so you got something going on. My thing is, with Wiggins getting the money, Jimmy Butler as well being a well-known guy, who is actually the man in Minnesota? Or do they not just care? Like,
as a basketball fan, I would have to say Jimmy Butler. Obviously, he was the man in Chicago. He obviously wants to be the man in Minnesota. But I mean, now he has talent around him to, you know, not always just be the man, learn how to share,
right.
You know what I'm saying, being the man. Because, I mean, like I said, you got Karl Anthony Towns, you got Andrew Wiggins, and, I mean, that front court is, like, really, really, you know, somewhat very, very decent. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, obviously, he's a stretch 5. He can step out, shoot a 3. He can post, rebound, take you off the dribble. And then, you know what I'm saying, adding Andrew Wiggins, I mean, like I said, 2-way players, very good. So, I mean, I like what they're doing out there. It's just, you know what I'm saying, they just got to take time to gel.
Right. And we didn't mention Karl Anthony Towns, but he might be the best out of those 3 guys.
Yeah.
Eventually, he might be the leader on that team with his skill set.
Right.
So that is 2 seconds in the lane. Let's go with 3 seconds in the lane now, Red. We got our top 30. I want to discuss 30 through the worst through the first. So basically, we're going to break down the teams, break down key players, and we'll break down how we feel about this team's upcoming chances this year. Will they improve or will they, regress? So, Red, let's go with number 30. Who's your 30 team?
At number 30 team, I have the Brooklyn Nets. Their top 3 key players I think they have is D'Angelo Russell, DeMar Carroll, and Jeremy Lin. I put them 3. Them are the most key 3 players. Obviously, they're going to be in the starting lineup. I mean, I can't see them really going anywhere. I mean, they are projected to be one of the worst teams in the league, and obviously the Cavaliers have their draft pick, so I want them to do what they can do, at least win. But I mean, do what they can do to make sure that draft pick is very high. I have them projected at winning 21 games this year. I'm got them going 21-61. I think they just not good enough, or they're in the rebuilding process to get better, and so that's the reason why I have them at the number 30 spot.
Nah, that's a smart.
Yeah.
The Cavs are going to get a high draft pick next year. The Nets can try as hard as they want to. They just don't have the team to do any damage, especially with the squad that they have. So it's going to be bad. So the Cavs, you can look for at least a top 8 pick. Obviously, the Nets going in 21-61 sounds pretty presentable to me.
Yeah.
So with the number 29 team.
Number 29 team, I have the Phoenix Suns. They have gotten better. They drafted Josh Jackson, so they got somewhat decent. Obviously, adding my top 3 players is Josh Jackson, Eric Bledsoe, and Devin Booker. Devin Booker, I know the man scored 70 points last season, and something we ain't seen since Kobe 81 and Walt Chamberlain 100. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I have them projected at going 35-47 next year. Obviously, out of the playoffs. I just don't see them making it in a real rugged Western Conference.
Right.
So, I mean, that's where I have them at. I mean, they might get like a 10th or 11th spot, but I see them on the outside trying to get in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's actually, to be honest, that's an 11-game improvement. That's actually a good year if it goes that way, 35-47. With the squad that they have right now, Josh Jackson isn't a pure scorer, so you didn't get a score in your team, but you got a guy who can pretty much do it all, rebounding, play defense. So you want to build your team around that kind of guy, maybe get high-profile players later on, but got a nice squad. Devin Booker's no scrub. We all know
Right.
Eric Bledsoe's not a scrub as well.
Yeah, we know that. Awesome.
All right, that's number 29. How about your 2018?
Number 28, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, indeed. Obviously, my key three players for them is Lonzo Ball. Obviously, they said this man is better than LeBron, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what they say. That's what his dad say, at least. Brandon Ingram and Brook Lopez. They added Brook Lopez in the trade for D'Angelo Russell. They traded him from the Brooklyn Nets to the Los Angeles Lakers in the trade. Obviously, that deal went down. It makes them somewhat better at the center position. Obviously, having Brandon Ingram, I think he should have been a Rookie of the Year last season when he got in. Lonzo Ball, I mean, he gonna do his thing. I mean, I can't see him doing too much because I mean he's still learning, how to play with grown men. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was playing in college. He was playing with men, but they wasn't grown men. You know what I'm saying? So it still takes him a little time just to get the feel of the game. And I have them I projected them to go 25 and 57 this season out of the playoffs. Obviously, everybody's saying that. Well, his dad said that he's gonna take the Lakers to the AFC. I don't see that happening. I mean, the Western Conference is just too stacked, too deep, and I mean, I can't see y'all doing that.
I can give them 30 wins. That's like the most I can. I don't see this team doing any kind of damage, even with Lonzo Ball. They don't have the playmakers. They can run up and down all you want, but you still got to score at the end of the day. I mean, your best player is Brandon Ingram, who you said could be Rookie of the Year. I wasn't really, I couldn't figure him out last year. I don't know what he wanted to do. But he didn't know either. That was a mess last year, to be honest with you. And when you're trying to tank, it's going to look kind of ugly. So maybe he comes out and emerges as a better player than what we thought he would be, just because now they got something going on with Lonzo Ball. But you say out of the playoffs, I got them. Like 30 wins is the most I can see from the Lakers, man. So let's go ahead with number 28, brother. What you got?
Number 28, I have the 76ers. My key three players for them is Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz.
That's number 27. I'm sorry. We're on 27. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
We're on 27.
It's all right. Okay. I have Markelle Fultz. Obviously, he was the first round draft pick of this year's draft. He can do a lot of things. He can score, rebound, assist. I really liked him. I watched some footage on him, and he's a very good player in college. I got great respect for the man. Welcome to the NBA. I mean, the man was the first round draft pick, so I mean, I'm happy for him. The team that he's on is going to take a little time to get that rebuilding process, going. But I think they can do it once they get themselves, in the rhythm of game flow and long season and stuff like that. I got Ben Simmons. Obviously, he was hurt last season, but they kept him out so they can get that, so they can get Markelle Fultz obviously in the draft. But I mean, I wish I had got a chance to see him play last year. But obviously, the man is good. I like Ben Simmons. He's a good man. And Joel Embiid, obviously, Joel Embiid was the focal point of the 76ers. He the one basically asked for the deal to be done to get the number one draft pick, and he got it. I mean, hey, I don't know how it worked, but he asked for it and he got it. So I mean, and obviously Joel Embiid he's a very good dynamic player, but also he's kind of somewhat injury prone. He hasn't really played a full season yet. So I mean, I got to see him play at least a full season for me to give him like more appreciative of what he can do on the court. Because I mean, I only seen. I mean, he only played 31
games total.
He played total 31 games, and I probably seen maybe like 3 or 4 of them. I mean, I really can't go off of what I was, saying. Just the minimized times that I watched him play. So I mean, but obviously I know he can step out and shoot the three, and he can rebound, score assists, and do all that. But my most important thing is just staying healthy.
But they gave him a 5-year, $148 million contract extension with a lot of incentives in it. So that's a good thing. He had to play a certain amount of games, had to play a certain amount of minutes to get a majority of the money. I think he was actually healthy last year. Same thing did with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was for sure healthy after the All-Star break. He was ready to rock and roll. Sixers said, slow your pumps, break yourself. We got you, man. You'll play next year. Just sit out right now because we're trying to get one more key player. Because, one, I think Joel Embiid was too good last year.
Right.
So he had one little minor injury. They said, nah, just sit down for the rest of the year. They saw it. They said, we can't keep winning games because when Joel was in there, at one point they had won like 14 out of like 27 games. You know, that's kind of midway. They were scared. They're like, hold on, we can't be too good not right now. Let's wait one more year. And they got that. So Joel Embiid, his per 36 minutes, he's averaging 28 points per game. That means he is a high volume scorer. That means if minus the injuries, he's one of the best players in the game.
Right.
31 games, I know it's not a lot for me and your taste. I know that. But I do like where they're going. What record do you have the Sixers, by the way, this year?
I have them 37-45 this year. Obviously, I could say them probably getting a ninth seed.
That could, yeah. That's 9 seed, 8 seed.
Outside looking in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, I mean, you obviously they're in the Eastern Conference. You know that's one of the weaker conferences that we have now since everybody didn't shipped out west. So I have them kind of sneaking in, but kind of also out too. So I mean, we really don't know. It's just a projection, though.
I got a little more faith in the Sixers. I think they probably go somewhere like 42-40, maybe 43-39, sneaking with a 6 seed, 7 seed in the East. That East is just god awful. So I think the Sixers with that talent, if it all pans out together like I think it should, they'll make the playoffs. It won't be a high seed, but I think they'll make it in. But you got them 37-45, which can still make the playoffs in that Eastern Conference. So you never know how bad it is. All right, brother, for your last scene, the 2016, we got who you work rocking with.
I have the Orlando Magic. I'm doing this for my boy Chris. Love you, an educated Star Wars.
That's right.
You already know.
Force be with you.
My main 3 key people for them are Aaron Gordon, Evan Fournier, and Nikolai Vucevic. Did I say it right? I said it right? All right.
Something like that. Vucevic.
I don't know how to say the name.
Shaq say Vucevic.
Yeah,
a lot of from his country, they be like Vucevic. That C is kind of silent. They say Vucevic.
I don't know how to say the man's name, but obviously Vucevic.
We black. We pronounce every letter. We say Vucevic.
Yeah, Vucevic. Obviously, he's a pretty good center. He can get on the block and do some damage. He can defend. And he's a pretty good rim protector too, so that's the reason why I really liked him. Aaron Gordon, you know, he's starting to get better at his jump shot. Obviously, he need to work on that because everybody know him as a dunker. I mean, yes, we want you to dunk, but also too, we want you to see if you can outspan your range and at least get out to that 15, 20 feet, you know, jump shot. We at least want to see you, you know, work on that. And then Evan Fournier is Evan Fournier. Obviously a 3-point specialist.
Yes.
He can shoot the ball, defend somewhat, and but I mean the Orlando Magic just never really had that going. You know, ever since I can't remember way back when they was good. I mean,
Dwight Howard days.
Yeah, I can say that. The Dwight Howard days.
That was
good,
you know.
But the Orlando Magic, I have them projected as 29-53. Obviously, the same record as last season. I don't see them. They really didn't make any drastic changes. So I still have them with the same record. I still have them like as one's the bottom feeders. I say maybe a 13 spot, somewhere down there. But I don't see them doing anything as far as making the playoffs because they haven't made any drastic changes to their roster or to their lineup. So
they messed around. I think they had the 6th pick of the draft, I believe, maybe 6 or 8, one of those picks, man. But they picked Jonathan Isaac from Florida State, and look, I understand he's a talent, but what the Magic need, they need some scoring. They need someone outside of Fournier and Nikolai to put pressure off of Nikolai Vucevic to actually score. They got Jonathan Isaac, who's pretty much he plays a dirty man's game, which is not nothing to be wrong about that, but I think it doesn't fit what the Magic really need. So that right there, like you said, it kind of set them back to where they might still be the same team from last year because Jonathan Isaac, he's not going to change that. They did get Jonathan Simmons from San Antonio, who had a hell of a playoff series last year with the Spurs. So that can boost him up a little bit, but if you want him to be your vocal leader or your guy that actually is the man per se outside of Nikolai, I think Orlando's going to have another very bad year again. So, I don't know. But we're done with our 30 for 26. Next episode, we're talking 25 through 21. Break down all those teams, those 5 teams, and break down who the key players and what records we see them next year, or this year, excuse me. So, we have the Nets, Phoenix Suns, Los Angeles Lakers, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Orlando Magic. So, that was 3 seconds in the lane. Glad y'all with us. Be patient, because guess what? We got something going on. You know what time it is, our favorite time of the show. We're talking Cavaliers talk with my man Red. So, Red, let's break it down. Recently, they came out and said D Wade is going to be the starting guard. We don't know how long it's going to be, but we knew it would be for this for this preseason game against Chicago Bulls. So everyone was talking, but we also knew that Kevin Love's going to play the 5 now. So your projected starting lineup, D Rose at the 1, D Wade at the number 2. We got LeBron at 3. We have Jay Crowder at 4, and then Kevin Love at 5. We all saw the game. You guys saw the game against Chicago, and it did not look good. Now, we all know it's the first time they played all together in the preseason game. Red, I want to know your thoughts on the Cavaliers. Where is this all going? What does this mean for the team? LeBron gets injured for a second. There's a slight ankle injury. Rumors saying that he might not play the first game. I want to know all your thoughts on this Cavaliers team and where they headed right now.
With the Cavaliers, I mean, I can see us in the finals again, obviously,
right.
Once we get healthy and everything. I mean, with the start lineup situation, I'm really not too down for obviously putting Kevin Love at the 5. He's a good scorer and rebounder, and he can stretch the floor. But I mean, as far as protecting the rim and getting blocked shots and second chance points, that's one thing that the Cavaliers, well, us as a team, as the Cavaliers, that's one thing that we're going to miss. Obviously, we're going to miss that Tristan Thompson in there because, like I said, he's going to get the offensive rebound no matter what. He's going to take if it takes every breath from his body, he's going to get that rebound.
We saw Robin Lopez do some damage on Kevin Love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, as far as right now, I don't think it's going to work. Because Kevin Love just doesn't have that good defense as a rim protector. I mean, yes, he can do all this on offense, but I mean, offense is good, but I mean, I need to make stops, and if I can't make stops at the rim, why do I have Kevin Love down there? He's not a shot blocker. He's just a rebounder. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, having Kevin Love at that 5 spot, everybody say that it's good because he'd be a defensive liability, but I don't trust it at all. I mean, I don't know what Coach Lou is doing down there, but hey, look, Coach Lou, I don't like the idea. I really don't. And obviously, too, Wade starting. I like Wade starting, but still at the same time, he's injury prone. We don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Wade is, I'm not saying declining, but he is getting up in age. I think he should have that come off the bench role. Because obviously he's getting up there in age, and he's not still the old Wade that we know as.
Right.
So I would have left J.R. Smith at that 2-guard spot because obviously he can somewhat defend. He's obviously got better at defending, and also too he can step out and he can stretch the floor for LeBron to shoot. I mean, you already know J.R. got the shot. That's why we call him J.R. Swish. We don't call him J.R. Smith. We call him J.R. Swish. You feel what I'm saying? Because he'll swish it on your ass. But anyway, the whole starting lineup thing, I just don't like it. I think that we are going to be a good offensive team. Don't get me wrong, but defensive-wise, I think I don't think it's going to work out too good. I mean, I wanted, obviously, to change because we just trying to play defense as of right now. We're not trying to,
Give me right now, what do you think should be the projected starting 5 going into Game 1 against the Boston Celtics, if LeBron's healthy?
If LeBron is healthy, it should be D. Rose at the 1, J.R. at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Kevin Love at the 4, Tristan at the 5.
There we go. I like that.
The only difference is, obviously, with Kyrie being gone, Derrick Rose. That's the only difference. Everybody in that lineup that we just mentioned, outside of the point guard position, I've played together for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And now we got a whole totally different lineup. Now it's like, what are we going to do now? We haven't played. Kevin Love obviously never played the 5 position. He probably have, but I ain't never seen it since he's been in Cleveland. So he always been that 4 spot, you know what I'm saying? Obviously with Tristan down there. So, does it work? We're going to have to wait and see. But I mean, in my feelings, in my heart, I think it's not. Because obviously Kevin Love is just not that good defender that we need in the paint.
I saw the game last night, and it was what I expected. Everything was clogged up. It was just it wasn't, LeBron didn't get the right spacing that he need. Kevin Love was actually shooting like 20-footers instead of threes because everything's so clogged up. There's not enough space anymore. They kind of counterreacted that by putting D Wade at the block and making him post up more against the smaller guards, which is smart to me if you want to, but my thing is you have to depend on Wade to score those points.
Yeah, score those points.
I don't see it really happening from the score 20-plus points per game to do that. So it's going to be kind of tough if you have D Rose and D Wade as your backup, as your backcourt, because that's kind of it's not enough space. And we know LeBron's game since his Heat days, pretty much, when you had a great D Wade. So D Wade wasn't a 3-point shooter, but D Wade can make things happen without being a 3-point shooter. But now he's not. Yeah, now you got LeBron as a playmaker, and he wants to spread out. D Wade and D Rose don't really do that for you. So what I saw was a lot of guys standing in the perimeter, a lot of one-on-one, trying to make things happen because they can't be the person getting set or getting fed. You know. But I just want to feel, will that hamper D Wade's confidence if he is gone to the bench?
I don't think it will. I mean, obviously it'll help. Obviously, you don't have to start every game, so you don't have to play as many minutes. It'll help him out as far as injury-wise and staying healthy-wise. Because, I mean, we're going to need him as far as running the second unit. I really think he should run the second unit, obviously, with IT being down, you know what I'm saying? So that means that we don't have to, he won't be in our starting lineup, but he'll come off and he'll be with the second unit as far as Rose, Corver, Fry, and, Jefferson and all them other people, Shumpert. We got to mention him. But I think he would run the second unit great. There'll be a pretty good defensive second unit. Obviously having Shumpert and Rose and Channing Fry, that's another deep point threat, and then Kyle Korver was another 3-point shooter. So I mean, I think it's more better for him to come off the bench because he have a team where he can take over. He don't have to spread out as much and let LeBron have his shooters where he can shoot. You know what I'm saying? Where he can script the ball out.
Well, it's gonna be tough sledding. LeBron did come a little lame in the game. Ankle, we know he's had an ankle injury the last week or two now. Are there any concerns with him missing the game?
I already heard rumors that he might miss the season debut against the Boston Celtics. I'm hoping that he's not, but if he does, I mean, it's nothing really I can say about it. I mean, he's just gonna miss one game. It's just one game. If he's just gonna miss that one, I hate him to miss that one game because I want to see him go up against Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if he's a no-go, it's gonna be a tough one, man.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, hey, we want to give a special shout out to all the folks in Arizona watching this. What's up to y'all? Thank y'all for the likes and subscribes and the love out there in Arizona. And for all the many, many subscribers, if you haven't, please like, subscribe, comment, and share all to the Uneducated Network, where you can see my show, Uneducated Sports Talk, see Red's show, In the Paint with Red, all kind of shows. So we got all things going on, so please like, subscribe. This has been In the Paint with Red for Devonte Rone, a.k.a. Red. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys next episode for Red's top 30 teams. We're talking 25 through 21. And more news that comes out. By the time the regular season should be running up. For those who are watching this, if you are from the Lake Charles area, you friends of ours, we will be on Facebook Live come October 17th, right after or during or before the game of the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So check us out on Facebook Live. Me and Devonte Rone, a.k.a. Red, will be there, man. So Uneducated Never presents Uneducated Sports Talk, and it presents In the Paint with Red, Devonte Rone, Carlos Clayton. You guys know what it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace.